All right. Works for me. What's up, Christian?
Hey, how you doing, Colby?
Good, how are you?
Monica, did your car break down?
Wow.
Ready for Tahoe?
Hey, I'm here. I had to wash my hair.
This Tahoe 2021.
Hey, did Sydney send you the pipe? Did she send us the pipeline? Of just the last week. Let me look real quick. I'll look.
Yeah, she did, because she said let's finish strong.
All right, here we go.
I think we have a bunch closing. This week.
Really?
Yeah, we have some for Christian and for Tim.
Perfect.
So I'm extending one of mine. So I'm gonna have 3 closing in September though.
Great.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
man, 3 closing in what?
In
September?
September. Yeah, because we had to extend one of them, so it's gonna close in September.
That's good though.
Yeah, the loan wasn't gonna go through, so we had to switch the loan to an FHA loan for the debt to income ratio.
Look
Cool.
at you just learning all the ins and outs, huh?
Yes, sir. Dude.
All right. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
That's solid. That's what I like to hear.
One person.
Doing good.
Let's see here. Okay. Can everybody see the screen? I need to put it up.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. As usual, I'm trying to maneuver the computer screen here. All right. Hey, Torin, what's up, man? Okay, let's see. How many people do we have? Cool. 7. Can you text Hilo and Jake and see if they're getting on? All right. What's up, Tim?
Yo,
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Appreciate you guys being on Zoom, like with your faces and stuff instead of just a black screen. We all like seeing your faces. You're all on the big screen right now. I'm sure that makes Monica, your hair looks great.
Oh my God, thanks.
You got it. Huh? Jordan, your hair looks great too.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah. It's just like I keep seeing the back of my head show up when I'm looking at the computer when it's on the big screen.
Oh, it's my freaking kid.
All right. You got chocolate chip pancakes on your shirt? Oh, sick, dude. You can save that for later. Yeah. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I know we didn't have one last week. Uh-oh, what was that? Hey, Kenny, Lisa, Renee, we need to see you. We can see everybody else's beautiful face, unless you're not clothed, then keep it off. We don't need any of that in here. All right, so I'm going to quickly go through the pipeline and let you guys know how we're doing. Sydney's going to be jumping on with us, I think, every other week now. She's trying to get some stuff done during the week with some of the other groups that she has to manage as well. And she feels like we can handle it. So we're looking pretty good. So appointments set, we're at a 73% ratio. That's fantastic. The met with rate is going up as well. We're at 48%. I think our goal was 65%. Is that what the yellow is? Yeah. So we got to get that up. So if you haven't been moving it over in the pipeline, please don't forget to do that. If you've met with them after the appointment set, or if you're showing them, make sure you move it. Okay. How many of you are forgetting to do that? I knew nobody would raise their hand, so don't worry about it. Under contract, we have 20. Is that right? 21?
Yeah.
21 flex deals under contract?
Yeah, that should be.
Wow. All right, who's got deals in contract right now with Flex?
I do.
We're by himself.
I know Christian, you have 4?
This was from last week too, by the way. So it was.
This was from last week?
This once.
Yeah.
It wasn't reflective of it. So
Okay.
it was like 3. Yeah. Zillow Flex.
Okay. All right. So the pipeline's looking good, you guys. We're doing great. Just a reminder that inside of Chime, you guys need to be moving any of the flex leads that are nurture into the nurture stage of the pipeline inside of Chime, because one, it goes through its automated email and progression of communication, but also now Rex every 30 days is actually going through and dialing every single one of those nurture leads and checking in with them to see if anything's changed with their status. We're trying to have the least amount of attrition as possible with these leads, because they're good leads. Some of them are going to convert, some of them aren't right away. So that, but what we want to make sure of is we're still converting the long-term opportunities, and that's how we're going to get our conversion rate up overall. Okay. For those of you that are new, and we have a few of you in here, one thing that's super important to Zillow, and here's why, and it is the top of in the middle of the funnel. So this section of the funnel is just as important as what's going on down here in terms of the sales closed, right? Anson, you can't see my hand, but essentially I'm showing them that the middle and the top of the funnel inside of the pipeline at Zillow is just as important as us converting them to closed. And the reason why is they know if we manage the top of the funnel aggressively and well, we're going to have way more conversion at the bottom of the funnel. All right. Does that make sense? And again, Zillow's a massive data company. So this isn't just something they pulled out of thin air. This is something that they watched top agents that use the Zillow product for years and years and years do. And so anyways, and it continues to evolve. Even the pipeline statuses have changed in the last year because they're trying to figure out the best way to get agents to move this through. Because the biggest challenge, oddly enough, is agents actually doing something that takes 5 seconds and going and updating the pipeline status after they get off the call. Kelly's smiling because she knows, she's like, Colby always has it for me. Actually, you've gotten way better at it. Thank you. And you also have the most leads out of everybody. So I know that's a challenge. But anyway, it is extremely important to Zillow. And so one thing with Zillow Flex, again, if you're new, and again, those of you that are seasoned vets at this point know this, this is not a right, if you will. This is we can lose this at any time program. And it's extremely important that we're doing what they want us to do. And it's not a lot, to be honest with you. The things that they're asking us to do are pretty damn simple. It's just a matter of having to do the little things in order to continue to grow the amount of leads we're getting. Okay. So everybody here is responsible for each other person's success inside the program. That's the best way to put it. So if you're not updating a status or if you're not updating a note, you could potentially cost other people in the program the opportunity at leads. And at some point we could get put on probation if we don't do what we're supposed to do. How many of you want to see this program go away?
No.
Michael's hand was up. I don't. No, don't raise your hand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think we all get that. And at the end of the day, though, they will put us on probation. There's other teams that do a very good job with lead conversion sources that have been put on probation because their agents just weren't doing what they were supposed to. So I know I beat the drum on this every single time we get on these calls. The only reason why is I don't want to see the opportunity to get pulled from all of you. Go ahead, Michael.
We had 150 leads that could be updated. So after
Yeah.
we get off the call today, click on contacts, it'll show you who you need to update.
Yeah.
And just make sure you just go out there and update them appropriately.
Okay. For those of you that couldn't hear, we have over 150 leads that need to be updated right now inside of the app. So if you haven't done that already, make sure you go in and do that today. Okay. And then a good rule of thumb, every morning when you wake up, rather than opening Facebook or Fox News app, go in and clear those out. All you really have to do if it hasn't moved, and it doesn't have to be the Fox News app. I'm just saying that's my go-to. But anyway, that's another conversation for another time. But all you have to do is if it hasn't moved, literally all you have to do is just go and put nothing changed in the notes, and that will serve as an update. Okay. Everybody got it? Questions? No? Michael, anything else that I'm missing here?
No, I would just like to say that the reason we get this CSAT score of 95 and
Yeah.
average price of 7.5 is huge, especially for us in Northern California.
Yeah.
So I think that's the people in the Bay Area and the other places, I think they're like average price is like 7.15. So for it to be 7.35 and us to have a score of 95 CSAT score is huge. So
Yeah.
I just-
Customer satisfaction score. So
Customer on that score. So that's not us, that's just us.
when you're on the phone with the lead, as soon as you get off, Zillow sends them a text or an app notification asking them how the call went and if they plan to use you as their agent. And there's 15 days later, they send them another message asking them how it's going, how the experience is going. Another 15 days later, they send another one, 45 days later. And then if they see that it's closed, they ask them then. That does not count as your review for public knowledge. They're using that to score and create this CSAT score. So that's how the best of Zillow thing comes around. We have a great score of 95 overall. Some of you have some room to increase it. And that's just a matter of us knowing that we need to pay attention to how we're speaking, tonality on the phone, making sure we're coming from a customer service position versus I want to set up a showing immediately. And if you don't want to do that, then you suck. And I just never call you again, right? That's how your score goes down. Pretty simple. But that's what that is, okay? The opportunity inside of this, and again, we've only been in this program 125 days, something like that. You can see right here, we've already had $251,000 in gross commission income driven through this program. In the pipeline right now, and this is just, I think, submitting offers and under contract, there's a potential for another $233,000 in gross commission income. That's only going to continue to go up over time as we continue to work the long tail, which is the nurture lead, spoke with customer, the people in attempted contact that we haven't spoken with. So just make sure we're still, not dropping the ball with moving people through the appropriate spot in the pipeline. All right.
So the under contract, it wasn't reflected correctly on the bottom.
Oh.
If you look at the top, it's 8. Down there, I think they combined the sales close and under contracts.
Oh, so we have eight deals in contract.
We had 8 deals in contract.
Okay.
So
And what was our goal for the August?
I think it was 6 or 8.
We had to get
We're
8 in the
6.
contract, right?
So we've been hitting our goals every
Okay.
step except for June, but July and stride. So
How many of you guys are actively writing offers right now and we're just getting beat out?
Oh, I got beat out.
Kelly got beat out. Okay. Anybody else?
I did,
I'm-
but not for Zillow Flex.
Oh, I love you, Monica.
Tim, Christian,
Yeah, I wrote one and I'm waiting to hear back on it. And then I have another Flex Spire we're just waiting to find the house.
If it makes everybody feel better, I've got people now that I was working like in the first month and a half that we started Flex that are now coming back because the prices are so much better.
They're
And-
stabilizing.
Yeah, so I just now got like a whole influx of those people coming back. Like someone, while we were in this meeting, messaged me about a house, I guess, that Chime sent them this morning, that I got her, she was like my 3rd Flex call. So
so that was back in March, right?
Yeah.
So March, April, May, July, August, 6 months. So that's the importance of working Chime and working the system because a lot of times people aren't ready to buy maybe just right then and people get turned off by this and they quit working those leads. So I think it's a big importance. It's just to keep your follow up. Check in every couple weeks, every once a week. Even if it's a nurture, it's just following up periodically. And then Chime automatically does that for you guys. You don't have to do it. So just make sure when you do get them set up correctly that you are sending them houses that they're looking for. Because they naturally see you sending them these houses and they think that you are just on top of it, following up, staying in front of them because it's doing that for you, right? But you're actively working the new leads as well. So just consistently following up with your database, even though you don't want to and they're not turning right now, they will turn. And it happens. I've had people, Wendy that closed it, what was it? Almost it was a 2.8 2 years later.
Three.
$2.8 million. Yeah, $3 million.
3 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and she just because she actively worked it, she talked to him all the time, would send him leads, but it's just compounding because eventually everything's going to turn. You just have to keep staying consistent. So I think that's a huge thing right there.
Yeah, I think the message is it's so easy, especially when you're brand new, to just focus on the immediate gratification and those opportunities. Where the big money is made in this business is the long-term conversion. And again, it's why Zillow invested in a massive call center and why they took over the calling initially of the lead from the agent because we sucked at it initially, but it's also the long-term conversion, right? And at the end of the day, if we end up actually just actively following up with these people and using the pipeline inside of Chime the way it's designed, you guys are going to make a lot more money. I promise you. You just have to be committed to it and stay consistent with it, I think is the main point of that. And figure out what the cadence is, right? I know, Kelly, you're swamped. This is a great example of this, but you come in here and you're following up with your people once to twice a week, right? And the other days you're up in Tahoe driving around and maybe you're making calls on the way back. But the point is, like, you guys should have a dedicated day that you're coming in and following up with the people that are in casually searching inside of Chime. Maybe they were 3 to 6 months out, but now they might be coming back around. The summer's over. Their kids are probably in school now. They're probably starting to think about, okay, I finally feel like I have some free time to start focusing on this, especially the second home markets in Tahoe.
Well,
Right.
and when Chime like sends through, because you can see when people have viewed a listing multiple times.
Yeah.
Even if I know that they're kind of holding off right now, I'll message them and just be like, hey, do you want me to run out and take a video of your house? And a lot of times they say no, because I know they're not really ready to buy, or I know it's not quite what they want, but at least they know that I reached out to them.
Well, more importantly, it's building your professional credibility when you do that, right? And so, again, like, I think it's easy for us to take for granted sometimes the fact that we have so many leads coming in that it's just keeping us busy, but it's also the opportunity to continue to build professional credibility. Because the whole point of these leads for you guys long-term that are in this room, 3 years from now, you should not be taking any more leads from us. This should be building your database, your referral base long-term, where you guys are no longer paying Zillow 35%. You're not paying us at the top dollar. You're paying yourselves, right? And that's how this is supposed to work. But if you're not doing those other things, you're going to continue to live on this program for the rest of your life. It's like welfare. Who here wants to be on welfare?
Hey, I
hope nobody, because we're all entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
Yeah, in California, maybe not so bad, but
Naturally,
yeah.
it won't, 'cause
Yeah.
It just compounds. Next thing you know, those referrals start coming.
No.
It's like
Right.
2 to 3 years.
But-
like, look at Wendy. She-
Well, that's the point, right?
That's how
Yeah.
she's.
Wendy 4 years ago had done 3 transactions before she came in.
2 years.
In 2 years.
And then she came in here to the 22 of the first year and started.
So the point is, she's consistent with her follow-up, right? And that's how she did it. But for the rest of you, it's the same opportunity. You just have to get started and then build the consistency into it.
Well, look
Right.
at Christian. How many deals has he had? He's been in the system. He's only been on
I know.
Flex for 2 or 3 months.
Well, Christian's single, no kids. He's got time for this shit.
He's
You
not
know?
single.
The rest of us, we don't have that
He's
kind of
white,
time.
dude. He's got a
Yeah.
girlfriend.
He's got a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Dude, you're too young for that. Come on. All right. All kidding aside, you guys are doing a great job. I just want to make sure that we're still staying and paying attention to the other important things outside of just answering the phone, right? Make sure you're going back through and following up with those people, seeing if they want to see anything this weekend. Every Thursday, that's what I would be doing. What do you guys want to see this weekend? Maybe the answer is no. Probably 9 times out of 10 it will be. But there'll be quite a few with all the leads that we're getting that say, you know what, actually, there's probably some that I want to see, right? All right. Any questions? No? Okay, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. All right, you guys, I appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing. Let me know if you need anything. Please use the Zillow Flex channel inside of Slack if you guys have questions. Again, you guys are each other's greatest resource outside of Michael and I. And we have Sydney inside of that channel too. That helps us out with a lot. So a lot of times you guys will call us and be like, hey, the app's crashing. Okay, well, I didn't design it, I don't maintain it, but I can certainly point you in the right direction of what to do. Put it in the channel. That way everybody else can say, hey, it's happening to me too. And Sydney can chime in and then tell the actual developers and the engineering team that there's a problem with it. Okay, great. All right, you guys. Oh,
Everybody could do that when they get off, go through their leads and just make sure.
Oh, yeah. don't forget, make sure you update your leads when we get off this call. All right.
And I would challenge everybody to get an accountability partner, just like you guys are talking with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. That's what I did when I started working with this system. Me and Bobby would make sure we're making our calls. We'd come in and make sure we're updating our leads, make sure we're doing open houses. I would say, hey, I'm gonna do this every other weekend. So he would hold me accountable. I set my goals. I show him and tell him, and we would make sure that each other was doing that. And even we actually would call each other and do dialogue. I call him and act like I was a buyer. Like 9:15. He act like he was a buyer. So we'd actually practice our dialogue on the phone. So it's like,
Do you guys hear that?
practice throws in, you know, So.
Michael said you guys should find accountability partners for this, or just in general, to help you stay accountable to the goals that you guys have, making sure you're doing your follow-up. You're supposed to keep each other accountable, not one person over the top of the other. But that's a great idea. Him and Bobby did that when Michael was first getting started, and it clearly worked out very well for him. So anyway, that's all I got. If you guys have anything else, just let me know.
That'll be a good one.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
still accountable.
Show the picture.